Good morning and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I'm Razzle11 and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Going to take a look at the pitching for today, the 26th of August. It is Tuesday. We do have a 12-game main slate ahead of us this evening and zero weather to worry about. Slight winds blowing out Sacramento again, LA, Chicago, technically in Seattle and San Francisco, but we know San Francisco is built to withstand winds, so that never really is in play. Cooler temperatures, not the best hitting environments from an air quality and temperature perspective, but obviously Sacramento is in play. Reminder that this is a first look at the pitching options on the slate, and I will be looking at DraftKings as that is where a majority of my action is. If you play in FanDuel, I would cut my pool in half or so. Pricing isn't quite as tight. You don't have to be as creative. It allows you to get stacks you want with an upper tier-ish pitcher. And obviously it kind of eliminates guys that just don't have the upside on the FanDuel scoring. FanDuel, where strikeouts are even more king than on DraftKings. With all that said, let's just jump into the Washington Yankees matchup. Yankees coming in, having hit a bunch of home runs again. Mackenzie Gore, obviously a difficult pitcher to face, but he's also one of those guys that can obviously blow up. Talked about it before. It's very much like Blake Snell to me. Like he can dominate one start and just get absolutely lit up in another. Over his last 7 starts, he has 3 starts of 6+ runs allowed. He has 4 starts in that 7th stretch where he's allowed multiple home runs. Doesn't have a home run problem, really. 19 home runs in 142 in the third innings. It's around a home run every 7.5 innings. So it's not a huge issue. It's just his mistakes end up happening kind of consecutively. He is better on the road, which he's at today, but obviously the ballpark is made for hitting a little bit more. Being a lefty probably makes him a tough matchup for guys like Bellinger, Jazz Chisholm, Ryan McMahon, if he were to be in the lineup. Any of the catchers, Wells or Rice, or I'm not sure if Escara is still up. I know he's kind of been back and forth. And then Dominguez from the right side, if he were to be in the lineup, he's struggled against left-handed pitching. So there's some upside for Mackenzie Gore, but there's some danger too. Judge and Stanton against left-handed pitching. Goldschmidt, even though he doesn't have the power recently, he still hits left-handed pitching super well. Yankees have 23 home runs over the last 7 games. 23 home runs. 9.5 strikeouts per game over that 7-game stretch as well. So, Mackenzie Gore, definitely super volatile. The other side, Luis Gil, the walks are the issue. If you can figure those out, turn a couple of those into strikeouts, etc. He's allowed just 4 earned runs over the last 3 starts. The Washington lineup is one that he can definitely get. It's just a matter of, can he get there with his pitch count and the walk issue, really? Like I mentioned, if he's going to be similar to these last 3 starts, I'd gladly pass on him. But, if 2 starts ago he turned 2 of these walks into strikeouts, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, big difference in his performance. Last start, if he turns 3 walks into strikeouts, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks, and then maybe he doesn't, lose that game, maybe picks up a win. Small changes can make a big difference, and that's kind of the reason why I'm on Luis Gil a little bit. I don't want to be too invested in him right now, but I do like the overall matchup. I just don't like his recent trends. But like I mentioned, it really only takes a small change in his performance on the field for his point total to jump up. It's a big jump between a walk and a strikeout, and he does it a couple times. Definitely a big point jump, and then gets him more likely to pick up a win as well. Because the pitch total isn't the issue. Like, he's being allowed to throw pitches now. It's just a matter of length. Next game, Minnesota, Toronto. Bailey Ober, not somebody I'm getting to. Just not. Home runs can be a huge issue. 3 times over his last 9 starts now, he's allowed 3+ home runs. That's a lot. Faced Toronto once this year, gave up 2 home runs. His road numbers are atrocious. 11 home runs allowed in 47 1/3 innings. That's more than 2 home runs per 9. So I am going to be on Toronto quite a bit. They just don't strike out all that much either. The other side, Chris Bassett. Night and day difference between home and road. He's at home. Strikeouts are stronger. A home run every over 9 innings. He just fits this home matchup even better. Twins do strike out against right-handed pitching. They do have a ton of power against right-handed pitching, which means we could obviously see a solo home run or 2 out of the Twins. But I think Bassett's just in such a strong spot that I will gladly play him. Philadelphia and the Mets. This is one of those pitching combinations that I think can kind of make or break a slate, per se. Luzardo coming off of an absolutely elite performance against Seattle. Like, he has big-time upside, numerous 30-plus fantasy point starts all season long. But he also has multiple negative fantasy point performances. He dominated the Mets for one of those 30-plus fantasy point performances earlier this season. His fantasy points have been better on the road. I think his overall numbers, though, are worse on the road. I think he's gotten a little luckier on the road because he's walked a bunch more, striking out less, allowing more base runners, etc. But still, I do like the upside he offers. But it's very similar to the same matchup as yesterday for Christopher Sanchez. And I talked kind of at length, some in the video and then some in our Discord, about why I wasn't as high on Christopher Sanchez, despite me being, one of the biggest guys in this industry on Sanchez and has been for the last couple of years. I kind of feel similarly about Luzardo. I do think he has some upside in this matchup, though. Little different type of pitcher than Sanchez, so I think he has a route to a strong performance. The other side, Sean Manaea, I've honestly seen some things around the industry, some early shows, etc. this morning, talking about Manaea. And, I like the upside and the potential, but I just don't see it as confidently as some of these other sites that are doing content. 4+ runs allowed in 4 straight starts. 4 home runs allowed over those 4 starts. His strikeouts are ticking up, which are nice to see. But still, it's not some slam dunk spot right now. And maybe the home run issues come down, and then we see some of his performance get stronger. But still, just allowing runs is not a good thing for us. And that's what he's doing. In the 90s for pitches, so I do think he's viable. It's just, he's not somebody I want to be too invested in right now. And it's weird to say because right now he's projecting at over 20% ownership. I would definitely, I definitely want Bassett more than Manaea. There's a couple guys coming up that I might be willing to gamble on more than Sean Manaea. Martin Perez, pretty solid start last time out, but I'm just not using him against Kansas City. They don't strike out a whole lot. Lorenzen, we've used before. I'm going to pass on him in this spot. He's been decent against the White Sox. 11 fantasy points, and then, around 25-26. So he has had some upside. I just don't think on a 12-game slate I need to rely on Lorenzen. Arizona, Milwaukee. Fott, I'm just not getting to at this point. He's been more than pretty bad. Been pretty atrocious on the road. allowing a ton of home runs. They're approaching like 2.5, between 2.5 and 3 home runs per 9 on the road. I'm going to pass on Fott. Mizorowski, big question mark here. His home numbers have been phenomenal. That's where he's pitching today. So maybe we're playing him. But his pitch count's all over the place. He's walking a ton of guys. It's a super dangerous spot that I don't want to be over-invested in right now. 6% projected ownership means that I can get 12, 14% and not be over-invested and feel okay. Mitch Keller and Payante. I think this spot itself is interesting, but Mitch Keller's been really bad recently. He has had some really strong starts against St. Louis, nearly 30 spot, 13, and then I'm guessing another 25. Yeah, so some strong performances. He's been pretty decent on the road, but his recent trends are horrible. I think I want to use him, but St. Louis doesn't strike out all that much. Other side, Payante, somebody I do want to use. He was strong against Pittsburgh the first time he faced him. He's not somebody that we trust a whole lot. Not a huge K guy, but we said that about McGreevy yesterday, and while he gave up some runs, he did pick up some strikeouts, and that's kind of what we were looking for. So I am a little more interested in Payante than Mitch Keller. But both guys are similar for me. Payante and the Cardinals are just minus 130 favorites. LA and Texas, I am interested in both pitchers. Kikuchi, not the best overall numbers against Texas this season. He has been worse on the road, so it is super volatile. So I'll go back to some Texas bats, but I do think that Kikuchi's in play. Other side, Patrick Corbin, back-to-back atrocious starts. He's had 3 pretty solid starts against the Angels all season. He has 6 strikeouts in every start. I happen to look at it. Big issue is he does give up a lot of home runs, but he's been really good at home. I think Patrick Corbin's in play, and it feels gross, but he's somebody that we can definitely go slightly overweight on. Similar to Mizorowski, we can double to triple the field and not be super overexposed and in pain when it backfires. Colorado, Houston, Hunter Brown has not looked great in the second half of the season. Decent start last time out. I mean, from a fantasy point perspective, right? He's 2 runs or less allowed in 5 straight starts. It's just he hasn't picked up strikeouts. Walks are kind of there. I love the matchup. Obviously, we're going to pick in Colorado. I will gladly go there. It's not as slam dunk of a spot in my mind as Scooble was yesterday, but it's somebody I want to use. San Diego, Seattle. Dylan Cease drawing a ton of ownership, a ton of upside with Ks, but he's been much weaker on the road, and I don't necessarily love it against the power of Seattle. With that said, there's so much K upside that I will be utilizing him. It's just not somebody I'm super excited to go with. On the other side, Luis Castillo at home has been a good thing. Problem is San Diego doesn't strike out all that much, and they're very solid against right-handed pitching. His recent trends, 7 home runs allowed over his last 4 starts. I'm going to end up passing on Luis Castillo. Chicago and San Francisco, I'm using Matthew Boyd. San Francisco's atrocious against left-handed pitching, and this ballpark is made for pitchers. I'm going to pass on Justin Verlander. I'm just not expecting him to approach anywhere near that 30 fantasy points. Detroit and the A's, probably passing on both, even though I think the A's could strike out enough to make Charlie Morton viable. Last game, Cincinnati, LA, probably passing on both pitchers. Kershaw at home, probably decent. Probably decent against Cincinnati, who's not great against left-handed pitching. But I just don't think he has enough upside for a 12-game slate. And Nick Martinez, could surprise, was really strong against the Dodgers first time he faced them. But I'm just going to pass on Nick Martinez on a 12-gamer. So, there we have it. There's our first look at pitching. If you enjoy what it brings to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. If you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc. I will put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's R-A-Z, for 10% off monthly. And as always, I will drop a link to our merch store here. You can check out some of the offerings, check out my hoodie, some of the other stuff that we do have. Let me know in the comments if you do order. Always like to see what people are rocking as far as our apparel. But, as always, best of luck, everybody.